We just finished June of 2025. How was Chaska's home sales? What I'd like to do is just jump right into prices on this particular episode. All right. So, what were the prices like in Chaska for June? Well, they're up. So, price per square foot. Okay. Now, that is finished square feet. All right. I know that sometimes that's fudged a little bit, but most of the time the finished square feet's pretty darn close. But anyway, $208 per square foot in June. Okay. Now, if we look at that in a perspective, first of all, that is existing, by the way. That is existing, and that's single family. Okay. So it's single family homes, which means individual homes. And then there's condos and townhomes. What did they look like? What was their price per square foot in Chaska last month? It was considerably less, but not abnormal or not wrong or bad. It's about 10% less than it was a year ago. That's not necessarily a big deal because it's year over year, month over month. And we look at trends, not 1 month and 1 month, in isolation. But the 208 is pretty strong. If we look at it last year, even though townhomes are down, this is up 13% year over year, which is kind of cool. Now, does that mean every home in Chaska has gone up, 13% from a year ago? The answer is no. However, it does mean it could have. What's happening with those? Well, it's $215 a square foot when it comes to new construction. So this is condos and townhomes, or townhomes and condos, and this is new construction. So you can see the price differentials, okay? Now, this one is an interesting one, and we could dive in that in kind of another episode. So what I'm getting at is that even though that is an unattractive 1 and 5, kind of spooky, new construction has remained pretty stable. About a year ago, it was right around this price per square foot. And by the way, just on a side note, the majority of the homes that are built in Chaska for single family homes for new construction are 2 stories. And the majority of the 2 stories do not have a finished basement. So when we're talking about square footage, this is not including usually, and not all, again, there's no hard rule, but at least 3/4 of the sales are just above the ground. So think of the additional, amount that actually would have brought this number down, but it's unfinished, so it's not the same. Quick question for you. Are you curious about the value of your home? If you are, I have just the thing for you. Just scroll down below where you're watching the video right now, and then where you'll see free market value report. And you click on that link right there next to it, and it will go to this website, which is my website. You'll type in your address, and then you'll push that green button. It will ask you for your email address, and then it will send you an email, and it will be an automated valuation of your home. The only other person who knows that you did it is me, and I'll keep it quiet. I will send you a thank you, however, but other than that, no one else will know. So when we look at the speed of sales, so the sale speed, okay, what is the speed of the sale? Well, it's defined in one way by days on the market. How many days on the market does it take to sell the home on the median? The average would be taking them all and then putting them kind of in a blender and then saying this is how many days, which the median is half of the homes sold faster and half of the homes sold slower. So you can see why we might want to use that median. Right now it's 15, okay, which is very healthy, very good, very strong. It's 15. Now that's existing. When we take and look at new construction, it's 23 for new construction. So I'll kind of put that in. So there is a difference, but it's not that big of a difference. I mean, they're selling, actually, this is impressive to me because so many builders are putting homes on the marketplace that aren't, whether they're not built or they're not finished or they're just thought of. You know what I'm trying to say. So sometimes they're stretching that market time because there's a lot more, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But so when I look at this comparatively, that's pretty darn impressive. So now let's talk about market saturation. Market saturation is when the amount of homes is absorbed in what period of time. So this has to do with how many homes are on the market, seller supply, and how much demand there is, buyer demand. So it's a really good number. So it's in the number of months, okay? And it's the month's supply. Okay, this is saturation. Okay, I'm not going to write it up there because I want to concentrate my amount of room here. So in new construction, right now, there is a 4.7 months supply of new construction in Chaska. What does that mean? Well, it's more than it's more than Victoria, for instance. It's more than Victoria by well over a month. But what am I getting at? It's actually the lowest it has been in Chaska since 2022. It's the lowest, okay, since the middle of 2022. Do you remember what was happening in 2022? In the spring and summer? Ooh, that was crazy dangerous. But anyway, so in this, why do I do those weird twos? I don't know. Now it looks weird for a different reason. But anyway, 4.7 months new construction supply, the lowest since 2022. What does that mean? That means that a lot of homes in Chaska have new construction, a lot of them have sold, and the developments, they're still around, but they're getting more full than they used to be. And we're going to look at some other stuff, but I think we looked at price per square foot a little bit ago, and you saw that new construction has actually been pretty moderate. It did dip down for a while, back in 23, 24, but now it's kind of back up again to where it was. At existing saturation, but for Chaska, it's 2.2 months. And that is a very healthy rate, okay? And that is existing. So this is not new construction. So what does that mean? It means it's just a little over 8 weeks and every home would be sold if no more homes were listed. Last but not least, I'm going to squeeze it in the bottom here, is the sales prices, okay? The average single family home in Chaska is $465,000, okay? That's the average single family home that sold in June, okay? Now, the average townhome that sold in June is $279,000. So this would be, single family, townhome, condo, okay? Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like or subscribe. Bye-bye.